Tyrese McAllister, the therapist on the mic, bringing mental health wisdom, shining bright like a light. Guiding souls to peace, leading minds to the right. With her codes by her side, they soar to new heights. Marcy Trueheart in the mix, mental health advocate, speaking truth, sparking change, grinding like a maverick. Empowering minds, lifting spirits, it's never too late. Together with the crew, just trying to do great. Jamie Tyler in the house, a TV star, champion mental health, taking it far, sharing stories, inspiring minds, raising the bar, with codes by the side, reaching for the stars. Prison therapy, breaking stigmas all around. With this crew, they here for the town. Mental health help, spreading love profound. Their voices echo loud with a resounding sound. Music therapy, here to make a change, spreading love, sharing knowledge in a world so strange. Tyreese, Marcy, Jamie on this mental health range, standing united this far from a game.
Hey, ladies.
Family.
Hey, oh, I think we got a extra co-host tonight. We see Jason in the background. Yes.
Messing with his phone. And then this one bothered me.
Hey, Raina.
Watch the road. Watch the road.
I've been going all day with them.
See? I'm trying to work and she bothered me.
I've been hanging
I'm not even going to tell how you tried to snitch her out today, Jamie. I'm not even going to say nothing about that. Marcy, I got to tell you about that offline now.
Listen, I saw she threw me under the bus many times on national TV.
I never saw that.
It's on. Oh, no.
We don't recall.
Right. That's a good one. I don't recall that.
We don't recall.
Look, I made a living off that for 20-some years on the stand. I can't recall that, sir. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Damn defense attorneys. What's up with y'all?
But I don't work all day. But it's what I do. It's my service to the universe, so I'm good.
So you might as well start us off. What tell us about today?
All right. Well, today I had the honor and the pleasure of hanging out with the Tylers. Jamie and I did some workshops for Prince George's County Public School Community School Program, and it was amazing. It was really good that we got to point to teachers who work in schools that have a 51% or higher below poverty rate. And these educators were absolutely amazing. Like, you can tell these people love young people, they love kids. You ever meet that educator that you like, why are you doing this? You don't like kids, you don't like people. Why are you here? Why don't you retire? But this was not that group. So it was really, really good. And Jamie, came in and did his thing. So it was good.
Listen, Marcy, I know I shouldn't be, but I'm always nervous with these public speaking things because it's just a different world for me. So the coach over here got me through it once again.
But that also keeps you humble, Jamie.
Yeah,
that keeps that level of humbleness, because of the simple fact, if you go in there like, oh, I got it, no one ever has it completely. So that's a good feeling of humbleness. So that's what we're gonna say.
Yeah, he was totally relatable. Like he's underplaying it, but he was totally relatable and very authentic. And people see him on TV or see you on TV, Jamie. But to be able to see you in your authentic space it was really good. Like, they saw you today as a dad, you know what I'm saying, as a police officer. Before we even got started, this one lady, and I was in my feelings about it in a good way. But she was saying to Jamie that the episode that he did that happened to be with me was the best episode ever. She didn't even know who I was. So she didn't just say it because I was standing there. She was saying that episode really touched her. She had family members that were in law enforcement. And then Jamie told her who I was because we had been standing together. And she was like, oh, that is you. So that was really nice to hear something, and she means it, because she didn't have to say that because she didn't know who I was. So that was good.
Let me add this now. In all fairness, you change your hair every day. So
I'm a black woman.
She might didn't recognize it. I'm gonna give her a pass.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Because I think it was orange. It was orange on that episode.
Yeah. And I'm not ever offended if people don't remember me. Like, it's not about me. Even the work that I do, it's it's not about me, and I'm over 50, so my memory is shot. People walk up to me and be talking to me like they know me, and I'm like, I ain't never seen it before in my life. So I get it, like, but it was just good to hear and know it was authentic, that she really meant that she wasn't just saying it because I was standing there. And but what I really love is that people got to see the real James Tyler, because he was authentic in himself, and he came in as a retired officer, but also as a dad, right? Which I thought was like it was a good moment. And you weren't in the beginning of the end, so you missed that. That's what one of the people has said, like, being able to see you in that role
Oh wow.
was really helpful for them. So that was good.
Yeah, I think because I know I didn't like that edit I got, and I spoke about it with Jason. That's one you don't play with me, like because anybody that knows me and been around from day one, before he had a whisker on his face, he was right beside me. We was in the car blasting the
Yeah.
music, riding out like this 10, 13, 14 years ago. And
Yeah.
then, a camera come and then y'all want to make like I'm trying to pressure him to do all this wild stuff. And I never really got over that.
Yeah.
So
We're
I
working
got him up.
through it. We're
Yeah,
processing it, Jamie. We're processing it because what it has done, that episode, as much as you feel it was hurtful for you, but it was helpful for others. And a lot of times, the pain we go through is not for ourselves, it's for others.
right.
And I was like, God, can you teach them another? Why I got to be the vessel? But just always think
Fact.
about it. That wasn't for you. It was definitely for other people and to heal other people. So we're gonna process that hurt from that because it has definitely left an impact, but it also left people yearning, wanting to get help.
Yeah.
So
And you were spot on because we talked about that. And Doc will tell you about just, exposing your life in front of the world like that. And then the stuff that I specifically talked about, it made a great impact, far bigger than I imagined. And
Yeah.
just like she said today, it was a lady came right out the blue. Like that scene just out the blue. And I was like, wow, it's just crazy.
And then the other thing I did real quick was we followed up with 2 self-care workshops for the educators. And it floors me every time I do a workshop on self-care that people really ain't taking care of themselves. Like, people don't even know to take care of yourself. So I want everybody who listens to our podcast to know that self-care is not negotiable. It has to be intentional. It has to be daily. Like, if you don't leave your house without brushing your teeth, you shouldn't leave your house without taking care of yourself, right? Like, we gotta have that time to really pour back into ourselves. And one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be empty. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But it was a good day, and I'm
Yeah.
just grateful. And we were really well, it was a surprise to me. Jamie probably knew, but Irena came out and joined us and stayed for the whole day. So that was really nice. And she sat through my workshops, and it was a good day.
oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry I missed it.
I mean, too.
And you know what's funny? She was kicking and screaming when I mentioned it. I said, Randy, you gotta come. I ain't getting up early. And then I think yesterday she said, what time I gotta be there? I said, I gotta be there at this time. She said, I ain't going that early, but I'll come. And she ended up coming. And
And she
had
was
a
right on
ball.
time.
She had a
And
ball.
she, yeah,
She said she enjoyed both workshops and the whole presentation.
yeah, it was good stuff. All right, so what you guys got going on?
Saturday, I went to an active shooter class. So just learning some to be more vigilant. And then Monday I went to the range.
Mm.
Oh, whoa.
So yeah, just learning to be even more vigilant.
Did you go with
Um,
Mike?
no, I went with Andre.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, we went with
You know
Andre.
Andre, Williams.
From MPD?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know Andre.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Okay.
Uh, that's funny. I just renewed mine too, actually. I just had
Yeah.
to renew
So
mine.
tomorrow I'm going to the gun show in Chantilly. I'm excited.
Lord. Are you
What you
taking
gonna
off
get?
to go?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
I'm leaving about 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
You
All right.
don't hurt nobody now.
I ain't gonna
Well,
hurt you
yeah.
if you ain't trying to get hurt.
So when she first was
Pistols
going to
and
the
pistols.
class, she was like, "I'm going to get licensed to kill." I'm like, "Well, let's not say that, Marcy. Let's say
Yes,
you are going."
I have to stop the threat.
There you
Right.
go. Don't ever forget.
Yeah.
Stop the threat. My main mission is to stop the threat.
Yeah.
Say it 1,000
Okay.
more times.
Yeah.
Right.
Matter of
Right.
fact, don't even talk. Just don't call your lawyer. Don't even say.
And I got one.
And you got some insurance, right? You got some legal shit.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you need some, call us. Either one of us.
Absolutely.
The three of us, exactly.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So, Janie, did you have anything else you wanted to share? Because I know you did way more than just today. What else you got going on, bro?
I can't never remember my week is a blur every Thursday. Nothing much. Yesterday I went to. I don't know if y'all know Cliff. I know Marcy know him. She know everybody. Cliff Jones. You know Cliff Jones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
He used to play at our church.
exactly.
Years ago.
That's her. So he had a little private birthday thing last night. I slid by, show my love. He turned 60. Yesterday was quiet. Been going to the gym, trying to work on this belly some more. Other than that, it was a quiet week. I feel like it was.
Okay.
Jason's back, as you can see, over there. He just got
Hey,
back home
Jason.
from his program, so he's running us around today. That's why I'm in the car, and he's in the background.
Well, listen, I appreciate your dedication. You know, sometimes people be like, I can't make it because I'm out. But even in the car, no matter where you are, you always put there's Thursday therapy at the top of your list, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now I know we on
All right.
Spotify, YouTube. We got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for
Yeah.
telling us.
We on all the platforms.
Exactly. So who we got today, Marcy?
So today we have a young lady, Jamie, you know, and I know, and I've known this young lady since she was in elementary school. She was absolutely beautiful now. She's absolutely amazing. She was beautiful then, and she's amazing now. Darletra Perry, a woman of faith, talent, and purpose. I want to say an absolute comedian, but a woman who is so full of grace. That when you see her, you get a little chill because of her grace. And that was just a little introduction. So we are so happy to have you, Letra.
Yeah.
Yes. And so we're going to jump right into it. Give us some of your projects, but really tell us, what did you just finish doing?
Well, thank you for the introduction, one, because you've always been amazing, always been a beautiful spirit inside and out, with a beautiful smile that always makes others laugh. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
But what did you say?
So we're going to let's talk about some of the work that you've done, and then we want to get into some of this juicy stuff you just wrapped up.
Okay. Well, some of the stuff I've been in was A Rich Christmas with Bill Bellamy. Shout out to Megamind Media.
So let me tell you, I don't watch Christmas shows, but when I seen you was in this one, I was like, I gotta support him. And it was so cute. It was the cutest. But go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're talking about the Silent Christmas with Neo. I did Wes's Christmas. I did, what else did I do? True Color. I've done A Pastor's Son with Dorian Wilson, Professor Ogilvy. It should be coming out. And I did, yeah, just to name a few. I got to go back to the memory bank and keep bringing them out, but yeah.
So, but what did you just finish wrapping up? And was that clip that you sent me something you've just finished wrapping up?
No, but I don't have any footage of what I just recently did, which was on the Baltimore Stage. Baltimore Siege. Shout out to Dexter Brain and them, and their production company. But yeah, so that should be coming out, I believe, this year. So yeah.
What is it about?
So I played the hostage negotiator.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's a little
Yeah.
action packed. So I get to be in there, kind of doing my thing. So it's fun and exciting. So yeah,
Okay, what was that
action packed.
movie with Denzel Washington?
Say it again.
Hostage.
Oh,
Was
ah,
it hostage?
man.
But Delisha, a fun fact, I was a hostage negotiator for 8 years. Yeah,
Wow,
in Alexandria. Yep.
that's dope. So how
That's
was it when you
exciting.
were a negotiator? Was it a little scary?
Huh?
Was it a little scary?
You know what? To be honest with you, it uh, it's not it's nothing like TV. It's nothing like, probably what you did. You probably had more excitement. And then I was a hostage negotiator in the city of Alexandria, Virginia. So it was not a lot going on, but
More calm.
it looks good on the resume. Let me just say that. But there was a couple of times where most action we got was, or at least for me, was a suicide takedown. So taking down somebody who, or bringing out some act, alive,
Yeah.
somebody who's on a suicide watch or something like that, who
Mhm.
barricaded themselves in. But it was still exciting, but nothing like what TV shows you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
got
like
a question for this
pulling.
superstar. So, and congrats on all your success.
yeah.
I feel like we met during one of your projects years ago. I think that's when we first met. You had a project back then, right? When
Yeah.
we first met? Yeah, that's what I thought. So, in this world of trolls and social media and everybody got an opinion, you being an actress and on TV and on movies, how do you deal with the backlash from trolls who talk about whether it's a movie, a TV show, or just you in general, your performance? How do you deal with that mentally?
So for me, I always lead with love. That's literally my whole existence in a sense. You know what I mean? Because I know in the Bible it says that basically when you like love covers all wrong. So it doesn't matter what somebody says or those trolls and stuff. I'ma always try to say it out of love if I ever have to respond back with anything. So I feel like I don't do anything wrong in a sense. You know what I mean? So
Well, can you
so
help
Oh, that
me?
was good.
it
That
have
was
Can
that.
you help
real
me?
good.
Cause I ain't learned that yet. I'm saying something, but no, I'm getting better. I will say I'm getting better.
You are better,
Um,
Jamie.
I'm getting better. But even this week, I had a couple tests, and
Mhm.
I just had my heart start beating. I said, "Oh, I'm about to go backward," and I said, "Nope, don't even do it." I
No,
looked at the
He said,
page.
I'm
"Oh,
working to you. Look, let me
No,
catch
I'm
my
serious.
fears.
I'm serious, and it literally, and even one time I kind of joked with the comment because it was somebody talking about one of my friends on reality TV, and I just said something, my opinion, and a page literally all the comments said what I said, but they wanted to tussle with me. I guess because that's
Of
the
who
guy
you
from
are.
yeah.
That part.
So I said all these people said what I said, but you want to tussle with me, and that one I didn't really give it no thought, but it was a few more that jumped on the bandwagon. And I
Mhm.
just was like, you have no picture, no followers, no nothing. I'm not responding to this. So,
That's right.
but just keep me in prayer, Leisha, because I'll be
Oh,
ready to go
most
to a
definitely.
thousand.
Sometimes you
Leisha,
gotta
put
take
him
a
up on the altar. Put him on the
It's
altar.
rough.
But that's also the process, Jamie. Because as a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, I had told Tyreese something that it bothered me real bad. But I processed it. I was like, because of this happened. Um, this was the reaction that I could have given, but I decided not to give that reaction. And I thought about it, and I was able to walk away and with no hard feelings. Um, I ain't forget, but
Right.
we working on that too.
I ain't
One thing
forget.
at a time."
hmm
Right. But
Leitra, what you said is so good. Like to lead with love. So Marcy and I have this thing. I'm grace and she's mercy. Like I give so much grace to people, right? I
Yeah.
give them grace. But with Marcy, if you catch her wrong, you're gonna need some mercy. Right? So
Ooh.
we're grace and mercy. But I must say that my friend, my sister, has grown, because when she shared with me last week that she didn't respond, I was like, okay, like go. And even Jamie, right? Because I know Jamie get tight with them people, but I was just having a proud therapist moment, even though they're not my clients. Like I was having a proud moment, like they getting it.
Oh, I love
So
that.
we are sub clients.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I got the therapist that I pay my copay to, the my bestie that's a therapist that she don't get no copay, but we be in some real therapy, and
I get good gift stuff.
you do. I love it.
I like the gifts better than the copay.
And
Yeah.
I sneak mine in on Thursdays because I be between the world we living in right now and then the trolls and life. I be needing doctor give me some guidance every Thursday. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
what you said, Alitra, it surpasses all therapy. Like if you could lead in love, and what people don't realize, they fail to realize, is that most of the time when people are acting up, it's that lack of love. It's the piece that's missing that don't allow them to be their best self. That irritates me. So if I can overcome that and lead with love, like you said, then I've won, and maybe even help them.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one. I wasn't
and,
even expecting that.
and Leitra, so you your family is large. You have five brothers and sisters.
Six of us. Yep.
Um, yeah. So it's six of y'all in all. But the love of the family, and it's three boys, three girls.
Yep.
But the way they love up on each other, that is dynamic. Because your parents were absolutely phenomenal. Now, recently you just lost your dad. So
Sorry for your loss.
My condolences
yeah,
to you.
sweet daddy. So tell us how did you process the loss, um, and how did you process from loss, but also um going back into life?
So for me, my faith in God. My two parents, they raised us up in the church, loving household, and just instilled so much God in us, you know. So at the end of the day, we're spiritual beings. I know that once this life passes away, we're going to heaven. You know what I mean? That's my belief. I don't know about others, but I know for sure like who God is in my life. So just knowing that I feel like my father just stepped over to the next realm in life, I'm at peace. And the relationship I have with my dad, I literally was laughing and praying and talking to him earlier that day. So I still feel like he's still right here. I just feel like he's gone. I just feel like, okay, Dad, I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you when I see you. You know?
Mhm.
So like I said, I know that to me it's two parts to life. It's the physical and the spiritual. So that's the piece that I have, that I know that after this physical, it's the spiritual that we live on forever with God. So I don't know. That's
I
how I
love
deal with
that.
it. And then to go back into acting or, my everyday life. Um, like I said, I know that that's just a moment that happens. You know what I mean? So I have to continue to move on in life. One, to make him proud, to make my family proud, and to continue to follow my calling that God called for me to do, because my dad fulfilled his purpose. He did what he was supposed to do. Now I have to continue my journey. So
Mm,
That's
good stuff.
that is beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, with six of y'all in all, and most of y'all are comedians. I think only one is not a comedian. But who's the funniest? Because y'all literally could be the next Wayans. But
listen.
who's the funniest?
Okay, so it's top three. I'm gonna say me, my brother Dexter, and my brother Dexton.
Yeah.
We're like literally put us in a room all day. We're just literally joning, laughing, making everybody laugh, having fun. So I would say them. Darlena's a comedian too, and Dexter, he's always been that funny, silly person. But and my older sister, Demetra, she just laughs at us. That's all she does. She laughs.
Right. Leisha, she not playing with y'all. She
Yeah,
like, y'all get away. And I
exactly.
love everything in the house has a D name.
I was just about to
All
ask
the
that.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So my father's name is Dexter. My mom's is Darlene. Then it's Darmetria, Dexter, Dexton, Dexton. I'm Darletra. and my little sister is Darlena. So yeah.
And what was the
Wow.
dog name?
D-Shay, Diamond, D-Lo, Dustin. It just kept going on.
Wow.
I said,
Okay.
I love it.
I gotta call it something else. I'm not doing a D.
I say a reality show. This need to be a reality show.
That part.
So you
Oh yeah.
from the DMV area?
Yeah.
Born and raised?
Born and raised in Maryland. Right? Born in DC, raised in Maryland. My whole life up in Marlboro.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. I got a question on the for an aspiring actor, actress that might be watching this.
Okay.
How do you channel your your inner emotions for like someone who's trying to be an actor, like as far as like emotional scenes? How do you mentally take yourself to, I guess, if you gotta cry, you gotta scream, or whatever it is the scene is called for? Because I've been in a couple of movies myself,
And
and
congratulations on that too.
if it ain't Jason, I can't get emotional. Like it's
Got
weird.
Yeah, so one thing for me, I remember I was doing stage plays at first, and I was like, I had to cry on one thing, and I was like, God, what do I do? It's like, how do you do that? So I prayed
Right.
about it, and then I just felt like, God will always help and guide you and stuff like that. But people always taught me too to tap into your emotions from what happened in the real life world. You know what I mean? So anything that's occurred in your life, whether it's the past or current, situation, you literally take yourself there in that space and just hold yourself there and feel that emotion and just kind of let it sink in. And then next thing you know it, you're crying all over again and you're able to bring that emotion to your scene. So,
Wow. But what about
Okay.
when they say do it again? We're gonna flip the cameras. We're gonna flip the village. You gotta do it again. How you keep
so,
doing it again?
so what I do
Keep
is
going back to that place.
I stay there. Like until after they say cut, I'm still there because I know they probably gonna ask to do it again.
Uh,
So I stay there so that I
absolutely,
don't get out of
absolutely.
it. So, because
Wow,
once you get out of there, you gotta start all over, and you sit there like,
yeah.
okay, what happened again? What was I mad at? What was I sad at? So,
And I
yeah,
think with you,
Wow.
Jamie, like that vulnerability is uncomfortable because you're a man, and so you trying to get through it as soon as you can. But like that's good advice to just stay there until that at least that scene is done, and you're sure that it's done.
yeah. Because like
I
you said,
think
they
Darlita,
for
can
how
call you
long have
back,
you
and you be
been
like, Ugh, I'm happy now. Dang, let me get back to being sad.
right, right.
Yeah.
Darlita, how long have you been in the
So
show
that's one
business?
technique.
Huh? How long have you been into show business?
I don't think she can hear you. Now,
Oh.
Alicia, how long have you been in show business?
Whew. So since I was a kid, I've always, you know, did little acting things and auditions and stuff like that. But really started pursuing it probably like 2000 and well, like I said, high school, and then 2011 is when I started doing stage plays and stuff like that. But I'm going to say high school because I was going on auditions and doing certain things then. So yeah.
Wow.
I admire people who can remember the lines. Like I love the stage play, but I can't sing, really don't have good rhythm, and I can't remember lines. So show business was not going to be for me.
Mm.
Look,
Yeah,
I was in a
it just
stage
is what it
play.
is.
I was in a stage play. I had one line that I wrote myself because I wrote myself into it. I was like, I'm gonna be in this
Period.
stage play,
Amen.
and I messed it up.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
Same
God.
with same here, Ty. Yeah, like that
Marcy,
wasn't what I was gonna say.
you wrote this thing yourself, and then
That wasn't what I
girl,
was gonna say. It was hilarious. I had one line. I
Marcy.
was like, I said I'm gonna be in this stage play. Yeah.
What
Oh,
was that
and
line?
then
I'm
you just
curious.
I don't know. I was a only thing I remember. I was a snooty mother. My daughter was in the hospital and something happened, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is who you chose." And I
this
walked
is
out.
high school. This is high school.
No, 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 no. One of my girlfriends, Michelle, had a play, and I wanted to be in the
Oh,
play. I wrote myself in. She was
You
like,
forced
Marcy,
your way. Okay, period.
Marcy, let me just say this. You don't need lines. They should just say Marcy go. And
That
you
part.
just
That's
ad lib,
all you
just
need was
ad lib. You could just ad lib any scenario. I could see it clear as day.
Definitely, I agree.
Yes.
And that's how I feel. I feel like let me ad lib because I can't remember them either. And as soon as I think I got it, as soon as he say, and we in it, my mind gonna go blank, and I'm like, God damn, start up. And you'll tell me that you on that clock. They spending money for them texts and all that, and you gotta get them lines.
So
Do they use teleprompters?
Absolutely
not for
not.
like movies and filming and stuff like that, especially not stage plays. You got to come with knowing everything.
Everything.
So
Ooh.
And
And
the
then you
people
got to
you in the
remember
scene.
where to be on stage and stuff.
And then
Ooh.
you got to change clothes.
hmm
Well, that wouldn't be a problem. That's probably the only part I could do.
so the one thing that helped me with remembering my lines, because I prayed about it, I was like, God, like you gave me this talent. How do I remember lines? And he just spoke to me and said, sing it. And I said, sing it. Think about all the songs you remember throughout your entire life, from your ABCs to your Twinkle Twinkles to Usher. You can memorize everything, right? So I was like, dang God, that's good. So I started singing my lines until I got it to the point that I could put my emotions in there and everything else. But if I have a difficult, time remembering certain parts, I just sing it. And then next thing you know, it just comes back easily.
Get in, Jamie. You got it. You got it
Thank
It,
now,
you.
There
it
you
Jamie.
go.
that don't apply to me because I'm gonna mess up songs too. It's just not gonna happen. Let me
Okay, well,
let me
be
just let me
repetitive.
freestyle.
You got to keep repeating over and over and over and over and over again.
So,
I will say this: when I did conspirators with the Gibsons,
Mm-hmm.
I had a few,
I forgot
nothing
I was
too
in there too.
crazy.
I should,
Yeah, exactly. So I had a few, wasn't too crazy, but it's like when the lights came on, it was like, God damn it, I forgot. So I had
yeah.
to just keep going. I had to keep going, and then all right, let's do it again. We might have did one of them scenes like maybe 7, 8 times,
Um,
and then I was
Yeah,
curious
I
to see what
struggle with
stuck.
it.
yeah, we'll just watch y'all. We'll be great supporters of the two of you.
yeah.
No,
It's
but,
just
but
not
I
my
wanna
calling.
I wanna get more into it. Reality is a little different because it is what it is. I'm gonna say whatever I feel like. But when you got like a whole
Structure.
media production company and you in movies with actors like A-list actors, it's like you gotta get this stuff right because you wasting everybody's time.
But
And you gotta know their lines.
yeah. I was gonna say your reality show is preparing you for stuff like that with all the
Yeah.
cameras and everything on you.
Mhm.
Like you just gotta ignore. So when you get on set, you gotta ignore and put yourself in another space and just do your thing. You know.
Yeah. I would say the difference between both by doing both. Reality, I actually forget that at times, especially like when the scene is really naturally what it is and there's nothing being forced. I forget. We just be going and going and going. They be like, "Damn, that's a good scene, guys." I'm like, that's real. That's us. Like especially with my family, we giving you authentically what we doing here. So
Yeah.
And now of course I was new to it. So when we did the show that I was in, I was fascinated with all of the cameras and the amount of people that are behind the scenes was overwhelming to me. Like it was a lot for that one little scene. But I must say that when we did the scene, we were in it and I forgot they were there. Right.
yeah,
Like it was a real, for me, it was a real session. It was not
Mhm.
just acting like I was in tune to what everybody had to say in case somebody had an issue or something. I needed to be there, and you just forget that they're there. So that was good advice.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. The only problem I have is, and Doc can tell, we had a great conversation, and they chop it down to what, Doc, 5 minutes? Like
Yeah,
That show
yeah.
gets
Go ahead, cut off James.
I know, I'm trying to get out this. I'm trying to get to my desk.
Okay. so Leitra, so tell us, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the plays? Do you prefer the movies? Do you prefer have you done sitcom series?
So I prefer movies, filming, set,
Okay.
like all day. I love it. I love to be able to cut. All right, now you can focus on this one scene and that's it. All right, now you can sit in your trailer. Now you can go do this. Go to the crafting table. Like that's my niche. Like I love that stuff because with stage plays, You only get one take and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to memorize all your lines. You have to, the audience, you're feeding off of the audience sometimes. You're hearing them like your character or not like your character, screaming,
Mm,
and laughing with you. So it's just so much that happens. And I'll be like, nah, I just like to say my lines, cut. All right, I'm going to retake real quick, do it again. It's more peaceful for me to be able
yeah.
to process stuff like that. So I like that.
Yeah. So how do you deal with when people don't like your character?
Well, I feel like I really don't have those moments right now. But there was
Okay.
a time that I did have like one time that that occurred. And I have to ignore it because I inside I'll be like, oh no, this is not who I am. Like I really
Right.
don't do stuff like this. Like it's just my
Right.
character. But when people come to you after the shows and they're like, yo, I wanted to get up there and punch you, you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, I did
Yeah.
my job. I brought that character out and
Didn't
that's all that matters at the end of the day. And you have to
Yeah.
be that character. You're bringing it to life.
You
Yeah.
know what? And I'm not a big TV watcher, but when I do watch TV, I usually watch a series, and it's two people that everything that they play, I couldn't stand them in. I was like, ugh. And then they played this one character that I was like, dang, I gotta like this character because I was like, I gotta like the character, but I don't like him. So I didn't like the character for a long time. Then I was like, get your life in order.
I think people have a hard time remembering that this is television or a movie, that this isn't necessarily who people really are. But I think people really do struggle with that, like that reality is not always so clear for people.
Yeah, because they're so
Yeah, that's
engulfed in it emotionally,
Yeah.
they're invested. So it's kind of hard for them to separate the two. Because I had to play an abuser one time. And
Mm.
like I said, after that, people looking at me like, are you really like that? I was like, no, I've never hit a man in my life. You know what I mean? I'm
You
more
lead with
loving.
love.
yeah,
You
right.
lead with
I saw that.
love.
I saw that trailer, I'm not even gonna lie. I said, "No, teacher, teacher." I did. I was like,
But
"Okay."
it was fun though, just being able to bring a different character, to life. So it was cool. It was fun.
But I
Yeah.
think it's good that you can stretch yourself. Like everybody was really in awe when Denzel played Training Day because that was such a different character for him. But like when I look at range of an actor, nobody has it better than Samuel L. Jackson. That brother has played so many different roles, such a variety. Like he is the ultimate, but I think he don't get the credit he deserves um as an actor. But when I say he got range, ooh,
That part. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
hmm
I got a question, Leisha. So, what does Leisha do for self care? What
What
do
do
you
I
do?
do for self care?
Jamie hanging out with
I
me
mean,
today.
it's just on top of my brain.
I love that. Okay,
Jamie.
so for me, one, I'm always like a positive person, in general. That's just who I am. I'm optimistic. But for self care, I love to listen to music. I always have like a nice playlist that I enjoy that makes me happy because music makes people happy. So I have
Right.
Yeah.
to listen to music. I like my candles. You know what I mean? I love a nice little fireplace lit, a little ambiance. Like I do the things that I feel like I enjoy, even if it's making myself a smoothie every day because it makes me happy. You know what I mean? I do music, so I'll like play a song. You know what I mean? Especially like if life be life sometimes, right? So
Absolutely.
when that happens, I pray, I write in my journal, and like I said, I make music, to kind of like express how I feel at the time. So it's like all those little things. And I stay like surrounded by people that make me happy. So those are all the things that I do that's self care
Wow.
for me. And
And,
making
and
sure, like I said, my house is like my little ambiance of happiness. So whatever I do, each room, I make sure like it makes me happy because I want to be happy. I want to be in that space where I feel good in life. You know what I mean? And just reading
Yeah.
my Bible every day. I gotta have God in my life every morning. My daughter and I, even when I'm driving her to school, we gotta listen to the Bible app. Because I need God to feed my soul. And those are the things that kind of make me happy and feel at peace every day.
I love it. Those are good things.
Those are
and
great
and
things.
it's crazy because Doc touched on a lot of that today, and you spot on those. And I got one more that I'm gonna let Doc break that down. Now, love scenes, kissing and all that. How does your
Yeah.
man deal with that? How do you
All
deal
right.
with it?
So you got to have a supportive spouse at the end of the day. If they don't support you and know that at the end of the day, this is your calling, so you're just in that scene for that moment, then I mean, it's going to be kind of harder for some people. But luckily for me, I have a supportive man, so I'm grateful to God for that. So none of those things kind of bother, you know, our relationship. So.
How is that
Yeah.
possible? Well, maybe because I've been with this one up here for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
I can't even act like it's TV. And when she did Double Cross,
Mhm.
and I love Crystal to death, and I said, you got her half naked, number one. And then you got her, I read it, I read the line, and you got to kiss the guy. I said, Crystal, we gotta
We got to
negotiate this.
rewrite this script.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
You can't be
just give
messing
me,
with Raina's
Yeah.
fame.
no, listen. Raina wasn't no actress. She was asked to play this role, and she was like, "Okay, I'll do it." So it's a little different. She's a professional actress, so she knows how to deal with that. But we got through it. If you saw Double Cross, she got through it, but it was just like,
You got through it.
I was getting ready to say Raina got through it.
you know,
She did a darn good
Woman,
job.
why she get
yeah,
somebody
I got that. I was in LA with her. I was sitting on that couch like this.
Ooh,
I could deal with that. I could because y'all probably don't know, but I used to be very very jealous, terrible, ready to fight.
What's your sign? What's your sign? Oh, I
I'm
think I
I'm a,
knew.
Oh,
I'm
a
a
Oh, I
Taurus.
think
I'm
I
a
Taurus.
Taurus.
knew.
she's a
And
what?
what
No,
day is your birthday on? I think I knew.
You're a what?
I'm a Taurus.
He's a Taurus.
Oh, a bull. Got
His
it.
his birthday and my husband's birthday is the same day. So like I think I knew.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
I just didn't play with her. I remember I met her in my 20s. So
Mm.
hot head youngster, and it was OGs trying their hand. She was the
Mhm.
hot thing in the building back then, and it was so I was always used to being confrontational. Like, oh, they playing with me. They know that's my girl. And they playing, and then fast forward today, I understand now with all that's going on with TV. Like, men are going to want to take pictures with her and say hi, and I get it now, but
She get
it's
people want to take pictures with you. She
That's what I
get
was gonna
yeah,
say.
but
oh
So
she
what if
don't
the
she.
roles were reversed and you had to do a kissing scene? How do you feel about that, and how would she feel about that?
Same. I really don't want to do it. I would probably figure a way out of it. I just because I
Oh,
know I'm
that's
not
cute.
Denzel or
Arena's at Virgo. She's gonna be supportive.
he probably will, but so funny thing when Crystal was doing short films on her phone. This is how far back we go. She asked me to play the guy. Raina was my girl, and one of the scenes I had to I guess fake like I was doing mouth to mouth, and I was like, what? I'm not doing that. She said, no, you're gonna simulate it. We're not gonna show it. We're gonna cut to your head like damn like you gave the breaths. And I was like, oh, because I was like,
Oh,
I'm not putting my lips on this girl. Like it's not gonna happen. I was
I got
terrified. I
a
said,
question. I got a question. So you know we in 2025, right?
mm,
And in a lot of TV shows, this question is for Jamie. Um and for you too, because we in 2025 and you cannot watch a show now without a gay scene. Would you do a gay scene?
so that's
that's
not for me.
that's
That
for
you
me.
know that answer. You know that answer. I'm not.
You're
I'm
an
not.
actor though.
I wasn't. I wouldn't be good at selling it. It's not gonna happen. I'll be honest. I'll
Yeah,
be honest with
Yeah.
and for me, I wouldn't do it only because to me it's against my religion. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Christian, but also that's just not me in general. And I love that my agent is kind of like he would never do anything that compromises our morals, our
you.
values. So I'm
For
grateful
your
to have,
brand.
yeah, an
Yeah.
agency like that too because there's some people who don't care. They just want to run and chase the dollar. But it's
Yep.
more to that. It's your character. It's your morals, your values.
Yeah.
Your worth. So to me, I wouldn't sacrifice that. So, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Nah.
that's really that really speaks to where we are with the music industry in Hollywood now, that people are doing a lot of things that they wouldn't do to get fame and fortune, and finding themselves in a trick bag because they have really sold themselves out. So I don't have a problem with people doing whatever they do,
Mhm.
but I do believe that it could put you in a trick bag, and it could mess up your brand, because there's several actors who say they're not ever doing that, like don't even come to them with that, and they're still working. But you got some that they say they straight, that's what they say, but they some hell of a actors. Like, they doing them parts, and I'm just saying, like, I'm not. If you say you're not gay, I'm gonna go with that. But I'm just saying, you
You like it,
really
I
are a
love
good
it.
actor. You are really good at that acting.
And I think
So,
I think they read the scripts. You know the script. You read it, and I guess it's on you to say, I'm gonna pass on that because I'm just not doing that. And I think that would be me. I think Crystal was good with that. She told Raina and me out of respect. She said, "Hey, Raina got a kissing scene. How you wanna do it?" And I said, "What can we do?" She said, "We can make it on the cheek or whatever." And I said, "Yeah, let's just do that. I'm good with that." And she was cool.
Then somebody
You
had
bring this agent.
I can be
to.
manager, bodyguard, whatever you need.
Period. I
look,
love
I love it. I love it though. I love it. I love it. I ain't hating, but I gotta harass. I'm not hating you, but I gotta harass you a
I,
little bit.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
Okay.
even with Mr. Wilkes, it was like, you're upset about your son needing a heart and all this. So I kept, like she said, I was trying to get my mind to be emotional, but my mind was saying mad, more angry, like you playing with me, like you playing with my son. And
yeah.
that was just me raw acting like y'all playing with Jason.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I got through that scene.
But you're gonna have to call Darletra when you need to get into some of them scenes.
I got you.
Yeah, we in the
so
same rooms. We know the
Yeah.
same
are
people.
you all doing lessons, like acting lessons? Like, how do you work on your craft when you're not working?
Well, to me, like definitely acting classes, but also acting is everyday life. Like just like a musician, they practice every day. So even for me, even if I'm going to the grocery store, I'm acting. I'm pretending like I'm in a scene because it's just natural. Just like a basketball player, you see them walking down the street like because
Yeah.
it's who they are. So it's the same thing. I feel like you're always acting. And I do little skits and stuff like that too. So this is something that's always tied into your
Oh,
craft.
question. You in them airports, the airport skits. Where do you come up with some of these skits? Because they are hilarious.
I'm glad you like it. So being obviously like exaggerating for a lot of it, but also from experience. Listen, I will hop on it in a heartbeat. What, $40 flight so I can go to the Bahamas or wherever? I don't care, because I know that when I get there, my all inclusive is gonna be plush. You know what I'm saying? So those things don't bother me like it would other people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So for me, like just experiencing it for myself, and I'm like, y'all crazy on this shit. Like, so I just turn it into a skit. It's everyday life.
Mhm.
The skit it was spirit, and then oh my goodness. Oh, do you know which one I'm talking about? Because
Frontier?
you've done a lot on the airplane though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Frontier or
It could have been
JetBlue?
front,
I don't
you
know.
know,
Something.
it was hilarious. It was hilarious. And
Yeah.
it just your comedic timing is just crazy.
No.
Just
Mhm.
even not in like in the skits, but I think it's funnier to me because I do know your comedic time, and I know you're a hardcore comedian. But those skits, I be like this. I look at them like 3 or 4 times. But that skit, hold on. But the skit with a waiter slapped the waiter.
I was about to say they be doing this skits too.
And I was
Yeah,
getting
that's when
ready.
you practice.
I was getting ready to chime in on that. And it's funny you brought the skits up because I've never been to acting school. And like she said, it's my everyday personality. Y'all been around me long enough to know I'm not serious all the time for the most part. So those skits, and remind you they're 5 years old. I have a spirit one too. I can definitely pull out the archives. But Raina is the one like a perfectionist, like a director. Like if we don't get these words when we're lip syncing, she's like, no, do it again. I'm like, Raina, I'm not doing it again. And if you were filming that back and forth trying to get the skit right, pure comedy. Because we be in here about to like curse each other out over skits. That's how bad it used to get. She wanted it like the words had to line up identical. And I'm like, Raina, that was good. No, it wasn't. Do it over. I'm not doing it over. When you see it, the ones that went viral, it was her. She was like, I told you, I told you, I told you. But that's just us being naturally silly and plain. You can't hear us?
Can you hear?
Did you say something?
I couldn't hear nothing. It's just loading for some reason. It's Jamie's loading. Like,
okay, I can hear you on this end now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Leecher phone. But no, those skits are just us being silly, everyday life, poking fun at relationships, and I think it will transfer on a movie set if it need be. But I definitely would take lessons. I just haven't done it, but I definitely would like to because I know it's a skill to channel those emotions, like she said, remembering your lines, just taking your mind somewhere else. And I know that's a trained skill. You gotta go do.
mhm. The one that stick with me that the shop done was when she asked for your phone, you give her the phone, you kiss everybody, and then you take a
Yep.
suitcase and you start heading on out.
Yep.
Man, that's so funny. I think it's
You
crazy.
know what's crazy though, Alicia? She hated it. She fussed at me so bad when I said, "This is all I need you to do," and she said, "This is dumb." I said, "Just do it, please." And she said, "Can I see your phone?" And I said, "Sure." And then when I finished it, I said, "I got the phone, fixed it up." And if you know TikTok, it go viral. It could be like 10 minutes, and it'd be 100,000 views. You'd be like, "What the?" And that was like, that's what it did. It went like 100,000, 400,000, 800, like that. And I said, look, look, look. I'm all in her face. Look, I told you.
You
She
said, I
said,
know what I'm
what?
talking about.
Yeah. And I
That's
did it
why
on.
that's why she smacked that waiter out the taste out their mouth.
That was her mother wig I had on too. That's that same wig I had on on the show when I did that. They wanted me to do a skit, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
Was
They
that
said,
the hat wig?
it's her mother's wig. It's her real wig.
But you had one that was a hat and a wig, right?
Oh, yeah, that was Raina's little workout wig. And she threw it on my.
That
That
was
was funny.
You
funny.
know what? Y'all gonna have to do a skit together.
Hey,
I'm with it. Let me know.
what's up?
Let me know.
I'm
And
down.
good.
Yeah, share each other's audience.
And she can tell you the craziest thing is just to circle back on mental health. That's what got us through the COVID. Those skits, and that's when I made them in 2020. And we were sitting in here. I still had to go to work during the day, but it wasn't nothing else to do once you got off. It was closed. There was nobody outside. And we sat in here, did like 3 a day. And I feel like we got closer.
Mm.
Our bond got closer because it was fun. And we were improvising for the world being shut down.
Mm.
And, we all went through a tough time mentally with all that. And, those skits got us through it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and leading with love. That is a takeaway for me. I love that. I'm going to continue to use that one. And that what really gives you, I love your take on we're spiritual beings as well as physical beings, right? And that's a really good way to process grief and somebody who you really dearly love and them not being here. So hopefully our listening audience heard that. If you are listening to us on the replay, make sure you hit us with a hashtag replay. If you have questions, please put your questions in the chat. We do come back and check them and try to answer all the questions. Guys, y'all got anything to say before we head out?
Darletra, is there I know we went through it, but just tell us what is your next project?
So my next project, let me see, whatever my agent sends me, I'll audition for, and then whatever God has the role for me, it's just gonna happen. So, but I do have some projects coming out, so just waiting for everything to be edited. I'll be posting it, so y'all know about it.
Oh, okay, definitely.
And I think I would lead with one. I'm gonna hold you on that skit. I'm gonna hold you for that. We're gonna have to figure that out.
Is it loading on y'all end too, or is it mine?
No,
Just
that's
your
you.
end.
That's you. Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay, it's loading.
Well, Letra, we'll tell you because y'all gonna do a skit together, and it's gonna be some funny stuff.
There you go.
I'm here
and
for
look,
it. I'm here for
tell
it.
her congrats on all her success. Maybe someday we can work together on the big screen. Look forward to it.
Let's manifest that. Not
And then
someday,
Marcy and I can
someday.
be extras with no speaking roles.
No speaking roles,
What did
none.
you say?
We can just be extras.
What did you say? It was loading.
Marcy and I can be extras with no speaking. I'm not gonna remember my lines, and Marcy gonna mess it up.
Exactly. But y'all gonna be
But
on
we
the
can
big
be
screen
extras.
together, and we're gonna be extras.
No,
because we can change your outfit now. That's what Marcy and I can do now. We got that.
No, Marcy's going to improvise whatever she feel like. And you're going to be the therapist. You're going to do your thing. We're going to have lines. We'll just feed off y'all.
I just think, Jamie, you should be the producer. You should produce. You Raina already know how to do it.
You might have to do something. I'm going to have to figure it out.
I be writing short films too. So look, we can.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so
we about to become superstars with these superstars.
Let's do it.
All right, Letra, thank you so much. I'm gonna put you back in the green room, hang out with us for a little bit. And then Marcy, if you want to give us your Marcy moment.
You know what? I was gonna say I need two.
Okay.
The first one
it's your world.
Remember that you are worthy. Remember your worthiness. And what Darletra said, lead in love. That thing, like you said, Ty, that thing hit different today when she said it. But we gotta lead in love.
But imagine how powerful that is, right? Like I've had a chance to experience it, and I can't say that I do it all the time, but I'm going to really shift my mind because even when somebody is being mean to me, like they intentionally not being nice to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I could still lead in love, like I have really won. You know what I mean? Like I have really won. And I just think that right there, it hit different. Even though I try to leave in love, it's easier for me to love people who love me. Right. But if somebody's being mean and nasty to me, can I still lead in love? I think I can. And the parts where I fall short, I'm gonna work on strengthening that because I really do believe that's what God would want us to be able to do. So let's all work on that. The three
Well, I
of
want
us.
y'all to pray for me because I ain't there yet. I'm about 40%.
But Jamie, the longer you're around this, no, really, the longer that you're around and you see, and we're the good ones that's rubbing off on you. So and you can just watch our examples. So
you know what my coworker says? My co-trainer, she always, because she from New Jersey too. She be like, she'll give you the eyes. She be like, I am channeling my inner Tyreese. I am channeling my inner Tyreese. And I'm like, oh wow, when your name becomes a verb, right? And so, but what that did for me is it made me her saying that made me better because it's like, ooh, people are watching and people have an expectation that I'm not gonna show my natural. right? And so that made that, and being a mom too, right? Like, because there's times I wanted to get people, but my kids are watching me, right? And I want to be better for them. And so it changes how I respond to people. But now I'm thinking, God is always watching me. Let me lead with love. Ooh, that was good stuff. It was simple, but so profound. So profound.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We got some comments. Let me see.
Oh,
Lead with love.
Charlene is saying, hey, Jamie, the podcast was good. Thank you so much. Market
Hey,
it more
Darlene.
so others can enjoy. Congratulations to you all. So we got to do a little bit more marketing. So yes, we hear you. We hear you, Charlene. We will do that. Thank you. Because I think, and she's right, like we have good stuff. The people who do follow us and listen to us really say that they get good stuff. I told you one time I was out, I was at homecoming. I wasn't even in the area. And this young lady said, you don't know me, but I know you. And I was like, oh, okay. She said, well, you don't know you my online therapist. I'm like, okay. Right. So we're giving good stuff in our podcast. So we want to make sure that we give it to the people. So I'll ask people who are watching this, please, when you're watching us, tag people who might need to see it. And I've seen people do that. There's a woman who does gun violence work with us. She's out of Baltimore. She tagged 10 to 15 people every time. I'm like, all right, sis, we need her for promotions. But yeah, if we could share it wider, because we are giving good stuff, and there are a lot of people who will never go to a therapist. They don't necessarily have a safe place to go to talk about some of the things, but hopefully here they can find that space.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So
and on that note, we out.
Yes.
Right. Well, let's get it.
She's Tyrese McAllister, the therapist on the mic, bringing mental health wisdom, shining bright like a light. Guiding souls to peace, leading minds to the right. With her codes by her side, they soar to new heights. Marcy Trueheart in the mix, mental health advocate, speaking truth, sparking change, grinding like a maverick. Empowering minds, lifting spirits, it's never too late. Together with the crew, just trying to do great. Jamie Tyler in the house, a TV star, champion mental health, taking it far, sharing stories, inspiring minds, raising the bar, with codes by the side, reaching for the stars. Thursday therapy, breaking stigmas all around. With this crew, they here for the town. Mental health help, spreading love profound. Their voices echo loud with a resounding sound. Thursday therapy, here to make a change, spreading love, sharing knowledge in a world so strange. Tyreese, Marcy, Jamie on this mental health range, standing united this far from a game. Bringing mental health wisdom, shining bright like a light. Guiding souls to peace, leading minds to the right. With her codes by her side, they soar to new heights. Marcy Trueheart in the mix, mental health advocate, speaking truth, sparking change, grinding like a mad. Empowering minds with the spirits, it's never too